Did you know that even indigenous tribes who live without electricity,
Hmm.
they sleep for like 7 to 9 hours straight?
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy, right? Like no two-phase sleep for them.
Right.
Makes you wonder if our modern sleep patterns are really natural at all.
Yeah, for sure.
So today, we're going to do a deep dive into the world of circadian rhythms.
Yeah.
We're going to find out what's really going on.
And to help us with that,
Yeah.
you're going to be looking at the Circadian Code by Sachin Panda.
Yeah, he's like a leading scientist in the field.
Yeah, definitely.
You're going to be surprised by some of the stuff we learned from Panda's research.
Yeah.
Like, what if I told you that the whole morning lark versus night owl thing,
Yeah,
it might actually be more about your age than your genes?
totally, yeah. The Circadian Code really suggests that our sleep patterns shift throughout our lives.
Oh, interesting.
Like infants and young children, they naturally wake up early because they fall asleep early.
Yeah.
Then you've got teenagers who tend to stay up late and wake up late. Yeah.
And as we age, our sleep just becomes less consolidated.
So that 3 a.m. wake-up call,
Yeah.
that might be more about getting older than anything else.
Panda's research seems to suggest that it's a strong possibility.
Okay.
It's not necessarily a sign that something's wrong,
Okay.
but it's definitely something to be mindful of.
Yeah.
Especially because, like, modern life often disrupts our natural sleep patterns even further.
Okay, so let's get back to basics for a second.
Okay.
What exactly is the circadian clock,
Yeah.
and why is it so important?
Well, you can think of it as kind of like an internal timer
Okay.
that orchestrates this whole range of biological processes.
Yeah.
It optimizes when things happen.
Right.
It's not just in humans either. It's found in almost every living thing.
Oh, wow.
Plants, bacteria, you name it.
It's like a built-in schedule for survival, right?
Exactly.
What's fascinating is that Panda says this timing,
Yeah,
it's driven by a hidden time code within our genes.
totally. Yeah. About 20% of our genes actually turn on and off
What?
at specific times of the day,
Really?
driven by this code.
Wow.
But here's the thing.
Okay.
These genes vary from organ to organ.
So my liver and my brain are on totally different schedules.
Yeah, essentially, each organ has its own unique
That's crazy.
circadian rhythm,
Yeah.
which is pretty amazing when
Yeah.
you think about how complex our bodies are.
It really makes you appreciate the delicate balance of our internal systems.
Yeah, totally.
Let's get back to sleep for a minute.
Okay.
Because that's one area where I think a lot of us struggle.
Yeah, yeah.
And Panda actually debunks a few sleep myths in his book.
Yeah.
Like, for example, he argues that this idea that we need 8 hours of sleep every night,
Right.
it's a bit of a myth.
It's not so much about the quantity as it is about the quality and the timing.
Okay, so what about this idea that we can catch up on sleep on the weekends?
Mm.
Is that a real thing?
Well, we can definitely recover from like occasional sleep deprivation.
But if we're consistently shortchanging ourselves,
Uh-huh.
we create a sleep debt
Right.
that can be really tough to repay.
Yikes. That sounds like something I need to pay attention to.
Yeah.
Especially since Panda really emphasizes the impact of poor sleep
Yeah.
on basically every aspect of our health.
Yeah. He points out that sleep deprivation increases our risk
Yeah,
for everything.
yeah.
From weight gain and diabetes to heart disease and even cancer.
Wow.
It also impacts our mental clarity, our mood, even our ability to make sound decisions.
So it's not just about feeling tired.
Right.
We're talking serious health consequences here.
It really is, yeah. And to really understand why, we need to talk about what happens as our bodies prepare for sleep.
Let's unpack that. What's actually going on inside of us when we're getting ready to drift off?
It's actually a really carefully orchestrated process.
Right.
Melatonin production increases, our
Ah.
heart rate slows down, and our body temperature drops. All of these things are creating the ideal conditions for restful sleep.
But Panda also talks about how our modern lifestyles,
Right.
with all the artificial light and late night activity,
Yeah.
it can really mess with those natural sleep patterns.
It's true. And he points to the story of Jay,
Oh,
who was a businessman struggling with fragmented sleep. He
Yeah.
would wake up multiple times during the night
Yeah.
and just couldn't get back to sleep.
sounds familiar. I've definitely been there.
Yeah, yeah. So Panda suggested he try something called time-restricted eating.
Now, TI, or TI for short.
TI has been getting a lot of buzz lately.
Yeah.
Is it really all it's cracked up to be?
Well, it's a really powerful tool for aligning our eating habits with our circadian rhythms.
Okay.
And as Jay discovered, it can have a dramatic impact on sleep quality.
Okay, I'm intrigued. But before we dive into the specifics of TI, let's talk about some common sleep disruptors. In the book, Panda mentions late-night snacking as a big one. Oh, yeah. It can trigger acid reflux, making it hard to fall asleep or stay asleep.
Yeah.
Then waking up with that uncomfortable feeling
Right?
can lead to even more late-night snacking,
Oh, man.
creating this vicious cycle.
Yeah, I can definitely see how that would happen. I'm guilty of raiding the fridge late at night sometimes.
Oh, yeah, it's a common problem. But the good news is
Okay.
that by understanding how our circadian rhythms work,
Yeah.
we can start making choices that
Uh-huh.
support better sleep.
So it's not just about willpower. It's about working with our body's natural rhythms.
Exactly.
And that brings us back to TRE.
Right. Let's dive into that next. I think you'll be surprised by some of the benefits.
Yeah.
It goes way beyond just sleep.
I'm ready to have my mind blown.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Okay.
All right, let's unpack this time-restricted eating thing.
Okay.
I'm hearing a lot about it,
Yeah.
but I'm still not entirely sure how it works.
Well, it's actually pretty simple. Basically, you're compressing your eating window to a shorter period each day, typically between 8 and 12 hours.
So you're essentially fasting for the remaining 12 to 16 hours.
That's right. And the idea is that this fasting period gives your body a chance to rest and repair,
Okay.
aligning your eating habits with your natural circadian rhythms.
Okay. But doesn't skipping meals mess with your metabolism? I always thought it was important to eat every few hours to
Right.
keep your metabolism going.
That's a really common misconception.
Oh, okay.
Panda explains that TRE doesn't slow down your metabolism.
Okay.
It actually helps optimize it.
Okay.
Remember how we talk about those 20% of genes that turn on and off at specific times?
Yeah, the ones that control different functions in our organs.
Well, it turns out that our metabolism is also governed by these circadian rhythms.
Uh-huh.
And when we eat constantly throughout the day, we're
Yeah.
basically keeping those metabolic processes in a constant state of activity.
So TRE gives our metabolism a chance to, like, take a break.
Exactly. And that break is crucial for a number of reasons.
Okay.
It allows your body to become more sensitive to insulin,
Yeah.
which helps regulate blood sugar levels.
Which is huge.
Yeah.
I've heard that TRE can even be helpful for people with type 2 diabetes.
It can. It also gives your pancreas a rest
Really?
from producing insulin,
Yeah.
which is beneficial for overall metabolic health.
That makes sense. So it's not just about weight loss.
Right.
It's about improving our metabolic function. What about those late night cravings?
Yeah.
I'm a bit worried about feeling hungry if I stop eating early in the evening.
It's a common concern, but Panda addresses this in the book.
Yeah.
He says that you might experience some hunger pangs initially,
Yeah.
but they usually subside as your body adjusts to the new schedule.
So it's about retraining our bodies to expect food at certain times.
Exactly. And over time, you'll find that you just naturally feel less hungry
Okay.
outside of your eating window.
That's good to know. But what about flexibility?
Yeah.
Let's say you have a social event or a special occasion. Can you ever deviate from your TRE schedule?
Absolutely. TRE is meant to be sustainable, not restrictive.
Right.
You have a late dinner one night, no big deal, just get back on track the next day.
Okay, that's reassuring. I was worried it would be like an all or nothing kind of thing.
Yeah. No.
But what about combining TRE with other diets like paleo or keto?
Yeah.
Is that okay to do?
You can absolutely combine TRE with other diets.
Okay.
In fact, it can enhance their benefits.
Oh, interesting.
So, for example, if you're following a ketogenic diet,
Right.
incorporating TRE can make it easier to reach and maintain ketosis.
So TRE can be like a complementary tool for any healthy eating plan.
Hmm.
I'm curious about medications, though.
Yeah.
Do they count as food in the TRE window?
No, medications don't count as food.
Okay.
You should always take your medications as prescribed,
Right.
regardless of your TRE schedule.
Okay, good to know. Now, there's one thing I'm definitely going to need some help with when it comes to TRE.
Okay.
Coffee. I'm pretty much addicted to my morning cup. Or two.
I hear. Coffee is a tricky one because it directly impacts our sleep.
Right.
Panda's research actually suggests that a strong coffee habit
Uh-huh.
could be a sign that you're not getting enough sleep.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like that early morning coffee is like a crutch
Yeah.
to help you feel alert.
Oh, wow. That's a bit of a wake-up call. I never thought of it that way.
Yeah. But what about, the potential benefits of coffee?
Yeah, I've heard it can be good for our health in some ways.
There's some evidence that coffee can have positive effects on cognitive function, even reduce the risk of certain diseases.
Right.
But it's all about timing. Panda recommends avoiding coffee late in the day
Okay.
because it can interfere with melatonin production
Right.
and disrupt your sleep.
So maybe I need to reevaluate my coffee routine. I'm starting to see how all of these things are interconnected.
Totally.
It's not just about sleep. right? TRE has been linked to other health benefits as well.
Yeah, and that brings us to the fascinating connection between TRE and mental health.
Okay.
In the circadian code, Panda shares the story of Simon,
Yeah.
who experienced a significant reduction in anxiety after adopting TRE.
I remember reading about Simon. What was his experience like?
So Simon was struggling with weight gain and anxiety.
Yeah.
Despite having a relatively healthy diet and exercise routine,
Right.
he started TRE.
Yeah.
And not only lost weight,
Right.
but also noticed this dramatic decrease in his anxiety levels.
So TRE had like a positive impact
Yeah,
on both his physical and mental well-being.
exactly. And there's a growing body of research that suggests this really strong link between gut health and mental health.
Okay.
TRE can positively impact the gut microbiome,
Right.
which in turn can influence mood and anxiety levels.
That's amazing. So taking care of our gut can actually help improve our mood.
It seems so.
I never realized the connection was so strong.
It's a fascinating area of research. It really highlights how interconnected all of our bodily systems are.
Absolutely. So we've talked about sleep, metabolism, even mental health now.
Right.
Are there any other areas where aligning our eating with our circadian rhythm can make a difference?
There's one more critical area we need to discuss.
Okay.
The impact of the circadian clock on our risk for chronic diseases.
Okay.
It's one of the most important takeaways from Panda's research.
Okay, I'm ready to dive into that. Let's hear it. So we're talking about the circadian clock and disease.
Right.
What's the connection?
Well, Panda makes a really strong case in the circadian code
Okay.
that a disrupted circadian clock
Yeah.
is linked to a whole range of chronic diseases,
Okay.
from obesity and diabetes
Wow, that's a pretty serious list.
to heart disease and even cancer.
Wow.
Yeah?
How does messing with our internal clock increase our risk for all these conditions?
Well, it impacts so many systems.
Right.
But let's start with metabolism.
Yeah, okay.
When our eating patterns are out of sync with our natural rhythms, our bodies can't process glucose as efficiently.
Wow.
This can lead to insulin resistance,
Right.
setting the stage for type 2 diabetes.
So those late night snacks could be doing more damage than we realize.
Yeah, and it's not just the timing, though.
Okay.
The types of food we eat also play a role.
Okay.
Remember we talked about prioritizing protein, complex carbs, and healthy fats.
Yeah, those are the circadian friendly flavor.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Consistently eating foods that disrupt our blood sugar
Yeah.
and trigger inflammation.
Uh-huh.
This throws our circadian clock off balance.
Okay.
This increases our risk for metabolic disorders like obesity and heart disease.
So it's a double whammy. Bad timing, bad food choices.
Yeah, exactly.
What about the impact on cholesterol?
So our bodies naturally produce more cholesterol at night.
Okay.
So late night eating essentially provides the building blocks for cholesterol production
Right.
when it's already in overdrive.
It's like adding fuel to the fire.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Over time, this can lead to elevated cholesterol levels,
Yeah.
a major risk factor for heart disease.
Yeah.
And the circadian clock's influence doesn't stop there.
Oh, no.
It's also deeply involved in our immune system.
Okay, so how does our internal clock affect immunity?
Well, imagine your immune system is an army
Okay.
with different cells fighting off invaders,
Wow.
repairing damage,
Yeah.
keeping you healthy.
Right.
The circadian clock actually controls the production and activity of these cells.
So it's like the clock is the general of our immune system.
Exactly. When it's functioning optimally,
Yeah.
our immune defenses are strong.
Right.
But when our rhythms are disrupted,
Yeah.
we become more susceptible to infections
Okay.
and even chronic diseases.
So lack of sleep or irregular eating
Yeah,
can actually make us more likely to get sick.
it's definitely a contributing factor. And TRE in particular can
Yeah.
have a really positive impact on gut health,
Right.
which further strengthens immunity.
Right. We talked about how TRE can promote a healthy gut microbiome, which is key for a robust immune system.
Right. TRE also reduces systemic inflammation throughout the body,
Okay.
which takes pressure off the immune system.
So many benefits to syncing up with our circadian rhythms.
It's true.
But I want to go back to the idea of timing medication.
Yeah.
Panda mentioned something called chronotherapy.
It's a fascinating concept.
Yeah.
It's the practice of timing medication to the body's natural rhythms
Oh.
for greater effectiveness.
Interesting.
He gives the example of rheumatoid arthritis patients
Okay.
who took a steroid medication.
Hell.
Time for release in the early morning hours.
Mhm.
They had much less joint stiffness
Okay.
compared to taking the same dose at bedtime.
That's incredible. It makes you realize how much we can optimize our health
I know, right?
by working with our body's natural rhythms instead of against them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the potential applications of chronotherapy are huge.
Wow.
Scientists are exploring the optimal timing for all kinds of medications,
That's why.
from cancer treatments to blood pressure meds, even antidepressants.
This is mind-blowing. We've talked a lot about physical health.
Yeah.
But what about the mental and emotional side of things?
Well, the circadian clock also regulates mood.
Right.
So disrupting our natural rhythms can significantly impact mental well-being.
Okay.
Panda talks about this disturbing trend in Japan
Oh, wow.
where young people spending excessive time in front of screens
Right.
led to sleep deprivation and mood issues.
The blue light from those screens messes with melatonin production,
Yeah.
making it harder to sleep.
Exactly.
And chronic sleep deprivation, along with the overstimulation,
Right.
can contribute to mood swings,
Yeah.
irritability, and even depression.
Absolutely.
It makes you wonder how much our modern lifestyles,
Yeah.
with all the artificial light and constant stimulation,
Right.
are impacting our mental health.
It's definitely a sobering thought.
What can we do to minimize the negative effects?
Well, managing our exposure to blue light is crucial, especially in the evenings,
Right.
dimming the lights, putting away devices,
Yeah.
maybe even using blue light blocking glasses.
Okay.
Those can all help.
Those are all good tips. Simple changes can make a big difference.
Absolutely.
It seems like finding balance between our modern lifestyles
Right.
and our body's ancient rhythms is key.
It's all about working with our bodies, not against them.
Right.
The more we understand our circadian rhythms,
Yeah.
the better equipped we are to make choices that
Yeah.
support our health and longevity.
This deep dive has been so eye-opening.
Yeah, it's fascinating stuff.
I'm feeling inspired to start making some changes.
That's great to hear.
What's one simple action our listeners can take today
Mm.
to tap into the power of their internal clock?
Well, I think a good place to start is just becoming more aware of your own circadian rhythm.
Okay.
Pay attention to your energy levels throughout the day.
Right.
When you feel hungry, when you feel sleepy,
Yeah.
experiment with small adjustments to your schedule. Even going to bed and waking up at the same time each day can make a big difference.
Great advice. It's not about perfection,
Right.
but about making gradual, sustainable changes that support your health in the long run.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
like brushing your teeth for dental health.
Right.
Incorporating these circadian principles into your routine
Yeah.
can lead to a healthier, more vibrant life.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
Well, that wraps up our deep dive into the circadian code.
Well said.
We hope you've enjoyed the journey
Yeah.
and feel empowered to unlock the power of your own internal clock.
Absolutely.
Until next time, stay curious
Yeah.
and keep exploring.
Keep diving.